Hello everybody, my name is Dusty and welcome to my channel. So some people are asking, because it seems like this is becoming a very common trend of me uploading 2 videos every 3 days, and while it is a lot of work, I do tend to have a lot of scheduled videos, so I probably will be releasing 2 every 3 days from here on out, just because I think it's a very interesting idea. I don't see a lot of people out there doing that, and I have a lot of stories to tell, so I think this is the best way for me to tell my stories and keep doing like unboxing videos and snail breeding videos and all those fun things that are coming in the future, but I want to be able to tell you guys stories, but also keep this channel focused on fish-related issues and topics like unboxing and having my fish room built and things like that. So I don't want to shy away from those topics, but I continuously want to make videos about the stories and things that are happening, like Jenna Marbles or my science class and things like that. So I want to keep telling those stories, but I don't want to do it by taking away time from unboxing videos. So I'm going to be uploading 2 videos every 3 days. One's going to be a story, and the other one's going to be something else, probably like when I feed my fish, top 10 favorite freshwater fish, blah, 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 blah. All those fun things, fun things. Today we're going to be talking about how I started a betta rescue. I've been keeping bettas for 2 years now. My first official pet outside of living at home was a betta, and I still have him now. His name is Tank. He is very old. He does have some issues with him, but he still eats and swims and is doing relatively fine. While I was at university, I realized that a lot of betta fish were being abused, more than they should be. It was a really sad revelation that I had, because I knew some people that had flushed their betta down the toilet simply because they didn't want to take care of it anymore. I also had people that would leave their fish over winter break or spring break, and those are weeks at a time, not feed them, keep them in small bowls, things like that. So obviously they die, and they'd wonder what happened to them. And something that started recently was in my residence hall or dormitory. There was a poll on one of the floors about how long a fish would live that they had, and it only lived for like 30 or 40 days before it died, because they kept it in a fishbowl and never did water changes. Obviously, it was a big problem, so I started doing research and figuring out exactly what I could do to help, and I found out the biggest thing I can do is take in fish that people don't want. As it turns out, there's a large market of people that just don't want their betta fish, and they'll do anything to get rid of it, whether it's flush it down the toilet, throw it into a pond, a lake, or even just kill it by putting it down a sink. And of course that makes me sad, because as you know, the invasive species series talks about fish that were released into the wild and then wreak havoc on the ecosystem. So that made me sad. On top of that, a lot of those fish were younglings, fry, that were killed just because the person didn't want to take the 10 minutes it takes to drain out their bowl or their tank and take them home. So obviously that caused me to be a little distraught, so I started my betta rescue, where I would take in bettas, or any fish really, it's more like a fish rescue. I take in any fish that people don't want, and the only requirement is that they have to give me the tank or the bowl that they've been keeping it in. The reason why I have that as a requirement is because I don't have tanks to hold all of these fish. And believe me, once people find out that you are doing this, they will slowly start adding up and building up, and next thing you know, you have a lot of fish that you really didn't want. I mean, that's what happened with my goldfish and my bettas. The bettas I currently have are all rescues, and the goldfish I have are all rescues as well, so I really don't buy a lot of fish on my own. I mostly take the ones that people really don't want. Actually, disclaimer, there's one goldfish that I bought, and that's my pearl scale. People get rid of their fish shortly after they get them. They realize they don't want them anymore, and I've noticed a trend in winter is when people buy bettas all the time, a lot of fish. They buy the fish, and then summer comes, and they realize they're going to have to take care of it, so they don't want it anymore. And that's why you often see a lot of increased sales on like Craigslist or Facebook, because people are selling their tanks online because they don't need them anymore. They don't want to take care of them. But most recently, I started this program where if you don't want to take your fish home during break, but you still want to keep them, you can bring them to me. I'll watch them. I'll do water changes, feed them, make sure they're doing okay. Then when you come back, you can just take them back free of charge. I have to be here during breaks anyway, so I might as well help out a fish in need if need be. So for Thanksgiving break, for instance, the thing that's coming up this week, I have 3 fish that I'm currently watching. One is actually on my desk right now. I've been posting about him on the rescue and on Twitter. He's an absolutely beautiful fish. Um, I normally don't like bettas that much. Like, I tolerate them and things. They're not my first choice of fish, but this guy, I don't know what it is, but it just makes me happy to have him right there. Of course, he's in a small bowl. I think it's like a half gallon, which is terrible. But that's what they gave me, and that's what I'm gonna keep. But I do water changes on it daily. I added some live plants in to help absorb all the bad things in the water. But when she gave them to me, here's the kicker: when she gave me the fish bowl, I set it down on my desk right here in front of me, and I was looking at it, and you could barely see the fish in the bowl. It was really murky water, and she said, "By the way, are you going to do a water change for me?" And I was like, "Well, normally I ask them to do it before they bring it, so I don't have to do it." But I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And she goes, "Good. I haven't changed the water in 2 weeks." 2 weeks. I didn't know what to do, so as soon as she left, literally just walked out the door, I took the container off, took the fish out, started doing. I did a 100% water change, took water from one of my other tanks, put it in the bowl, and then switched him around. And instantly, he went from laying at the bottom of the tank to swimming around, and now he's currently swimming around. I don't know his name, but I've just been calling him Buddy, primarily because he acts like a dog. So I called him Buddy. So I added these live plants in. I took some out of my goldfish tank and added that hammock, and he really enjoys it. Um, I don't know, something about him is just stunning, and it makes me feel great. He's a very personable fish. That's what he's staying in at the moment. So I started this thing, and I mean, it's nice. I also started a blog. I'm going to put that in the description down below. You can follow it, look at it. I wrote my tips for when you're leaving on vacation, what to do with your fish if you're in college. That's something that Coral Reef 12 or Coral 12G recently did. What he does with his fish, and I commented on there something that I didn't think people really knew, and it turns out a lot of people don't know. What I do is I have tubs, Rubbermaid tubs. And what I do is instead of transferring the tanks back and forth, because that gets to be a hassle and it's really obnoxious, I have the Rubbermaid totes at home cycling with water. And what I do is I just move the fish back and forth. I think that's less stressful on them. The water doesn't change all too much. It's just basically them moving from one tank to another. So that's kind of the story on how I started this thing. I'm also gonna link the Facebook page in there as well. It might not last, but it's something that I really want to continue because there's a lot of neglected fish out there. People don't know what to do with them, so they kill them, or do something worse, like flush them down the toilet or release them into the wild. And I want to try to do the best I can to help prevent that from happening. So if you have a comment about something I said and you want to figure out how you can do something like this, leave a comment down below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.